I want to talk to you about the latest Transunion credit cards that have soft pull and high limits. Okay, so here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. So when we talk about a Transunion credit card with soft pull and high limits, you really need to understand that it's all about having the right credit card at the right time. And most of the credit cards that I'm giving you into this conversation are they primarily pull Transunion, but there are some cases where they actually pull also Experian and Equifax. So don't be surprised if they're pulling other credit, let's say other credit account of yours, but primarily they check TransUnion. And when we talk about a TransUnion credit card with soft pull and high limits, we are speaking about a process that helps you actually preserve your credit score, so you can actually see how much you could qualify for with the credit card provider way before they actually do a hard pull. Remember, when we talk about a credit card or loan or what have you, you are going to have a hard pull no matter what. It's just the timing. Okay, so the credit cards I'll be sharing with you into this conversation, they don't do a hard pull first. They do a soft pull before actually switching to a hard pull. And one thing I want to say here also is that it's always good to have a soft pull, because besides preserving your FICO score, you also are gauging your chances of having a high credit, let's say a high credit limits or a low credit limit. In other words, you can see whether or not you could qualify for 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 25,000, or what have you, in terms of credit limits. And one thing I want to say here is that it's really important to understand that you want to actually apply online. It's just a lot faster and a lot better actually to apply online than to actually apply in the mail. Even though you can pre-qualify for a credit card in the mail, you can pre-qualify for a credit card actually via telephone, but it's just a lot better to pre-qualify online. And online, I mean, you can apply. You can go to the website, or you can just use the provider's app. So if they have an app, and they all have apps nowadays, so you want to log into your account and use the app to see if you can pre-qualify for a TransUnion credit card. Okay, and one thing I want to say also is that timing is really important. So when you apply for a credit card, whether it is a pre-approval or just a regular approval, in other words, soft pull or hard pull, timing is really important. In other words, you always want to make sure there is enough distance, if you will, between the last time you applied for a credit card and this time around. So this is kind of important. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. I'll be sharing with you next the complete list of the latest TransUnion credit cards. They have a soft pull and high limits. So here's a review I want you to pay attention to. So the first TransUnion credit card with the soft pull and high limits is Pedal 2 Cashback No Fees Visa credit card. This card is really fantastic. We love this card a lot because it's one of our favorite for beginner-friendly features. Okay, and so this card offers a pre-approval process. It is a TransUnion credit card, and so the thing is that you have to understand, WebBank, which is actually the card's issuer, can actually look at more than just traditional FICO score to determine creditworthiness. Okay, so this is kind of cool. So you can qualify even if you have no credit, but you have a high income. You can qualify for this card, not a problem. So the first TransUnion credit card with soft pull, high limits, Pedal 2 Cashback No Fees Visa credit card. The second card I want to share with you is the Upgrade Cash Rewards Visa. This card is just fantastic in terms of being a TransUnion credit card with soft pull, high limits. And the card is great because it allows you to have a fixed monthly payments. This is kind of cool in terms of helping you stabilize your budget. This is really cool. And what we love about this card particularly is that it combines the features of both a credit card and a personal loan. And so this is really good. So this makes budgeting easier with fixed monthly payments when you don't pay off your monthly bill in full. And now, of course, the issuer will charge a fixed interest rate on any balance remaining, and you will see your potential credit limits when you go through the pre-approval process before you officially apply and accept the terms of the card. So this is kind of cool. And we love this a lot because visibility is kind of rare when it comes to the standard application, like the standard credit card application process. And this is kind of cool. And this card actually pulls TransUnion primarily, but it reports to the three major credit bureaus, and this is kind of cool. And it really also helps you build credit a lot faster. And one thing I want to say here is that the card also has a no annual fee, so we love that a lot. And the card earns a reward, so this is kind of cool. So you have a constellation of benefits, and this is kind of cool. And one thing I want to say before closing to this, not closing, before closing this section is that when you apply for this card, you are able to apply for multiple cards at the same time, so they don't have the sort of the sort of limits on the number of cards that you can apply for. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about the latest Transunion credit cards with soft pull and high limits. Next, I want to talk to you about Mission Lane Visa credit card. So this card is great in terms of being a TransUnion credit card, soft pull, high limits, and there's no security deposit. So this is unsecured, and there is a low annual fee. Now the card charges an annual fee, so you just need to know that. And what we love about the card is that in some cases they might actually give you a zero annual fee. This is kind of cool. So this card is an option for beginners or second chance seekers who want to skip a security deposit. So if you do not want to have a secured credit card, you can try the Mission Lane Visa. We have actually reviewed this card at length in another video. And the cool thing is that payments are reported to all three major credit bureaus, and your account is considered for a credit limit increase at least once within the first year. So this is kind of cool. And if you are eligible, that kind of bump may help your credit scores because it can lower your credit utilization ratio. So this is really cool. And the fourth credit card, the fourth TransUnion credit card, soft pull, high limits, is a Prosper card. And Prosper card is it's relatively recent. They actually they released the card anew during COVID. So that's like 2 to 3 years ago. And the card is great for no security deposit, low annual fee, and potentially high credit limits. So it is a TransUnion credit card. So we love that a lot. And what I want to say here is that when we talk about the Prosper card, the card doesn't require you to wait for a physical card to arrive in the mail. You can request a digital card by logging into the account, and the digital card can be added to a digital wallet and used for purchases up to a certain amount, while your physical card is actually in transit. So this is kind of cool. And what we love about the Prosper card is that there is also a potentially generous credit limits that actually oscillates between 500 to 3,000. In some cases, they can go all the way to $5,000 depending on eligibility. And so, and you also have the chance to see credit limit increases with Prosper's automatic review. So they actually review your accounts every 3 to 4 months, and they can actually increase your credit limits within 6 months. Totally possible, not a problem. And now, one thing I want to say here is that you always have to also make sure that use the card properly, because this card has an annual fee, and so you have a $0 introductory fee with auto pay, then $39 after the first year. So $39 after the first year, you just have to account for that in your budget. But hey, listen, it is totally worth it compared to how much all the other cards are charging you. You also have Capital One Quicksilver One Cash Rewards credit card. This is another fantastic TransUnion credit card, soft pull, high limits. And so this card is cool in terms of average credit and rewards. So if your credit score oscillates between 600 to 700, you could qualify for this card, not a problem. Okay. So one thing I want to say here is that pre-approval for this card is available only by going through the pre-approval page on Capital One's website. And so it's the cool thing is that you can determine your odds of eligibility with the card's pre-qualification process. And so this card is kind of cool because it earns a solid 1.5% cash back on purchases, and the card holders may be considered for a potential credit limit increase in as little as 6 months with on-time payments. So with Capital One, you want to maintain a solid history of let's say on-time payments. And this is kind of cool. And now you will not get a shot at earning a sign-up bonus or a 0% intro APR period though. And there is an annual fee. So there's an annual fee with this card. And the annual fee can go from $39 all the way to $79. It really depends. Another card that I want to share with you, TransUnion credit card, soft pull, high limits, is the Advent credit card. Advent credit card is kind of cool in terms of it like pulling, like they pull this card pulls a TransUnion, that's for sure. But it also allows you to qualify for a credit card real fast. Now the thing is that the only catch here is that you don't have a high limits. So if you have a limited credit, let's say you are oscillating between a bad credit and fair credit, you could qualify for the Advent credit card. And so you have a credit limits ranging from 300 all the way to 2,000. So you're not really you're not thinking about the 5,000 or 10,000. But hey, listen, it is still worth it anyway. Okay, so we're talking about 300 to 2,000 depending on eligibility. And and of course, there is a chance for credit line increases in the future. But the card actually has a very low barrier, low entry barrier. Okay, and so it has an annual fee though. So you have to think about that. But bottom line here is what? What's the bottom line? Bottom line is that the card allows you to build credit without a security deposit. This is really cool. There's no security deposit here. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about TransUnion credit cards, soft pull, high limits. Everyday card from American Express. And this is a fantastic card. I mean, this card allows you to actually build credit a lot faster. Now, the card is actually reserved for folks with good credit or excellent credit, okay? So pre-qualification for this card is available only by going through the pre-qualification page on the American Express website. And this is kind of cool. And one thing I want to say here is that the card allows you to earn 3% cash back at U.S. supermarkets on up to $6,000 spent per year, then 1%. You have 3% back at U.S. gas stations on up to $6,000 spent per year. You have 3% cash back on U.S. online retail purchases on up to $6,000 spent per year, and you have a 1% on all other purchases. So this is kind of cool. The card we love this card because it has no annual fee. This is really cool, and you are able to actually you can actually qualify a lot faster. The only thing is you cannot have bad credit or fair credit. With American Express, especially this card, if you have a good credit, at least like let's say credit score of a 690, 675 and up, you can actually qualify for this card, not a problem. Next, you have the Capital One Venture Rewards credit card, and this is another great credit card here that we love a lot. And so this card is great for travel, and this card pulls a TransUnion, of course. And so pre-approval for this card is available only by going through the pre-approval page on Capital One's website. So it's kind of similar to the one that I gave you a little earlier. That's the Capital One Quicksilver One Cash Rewards. Okay, and so this card is actually great. The rewards card is actually the Capital One Venture Rewards credit card is great because it is as simple as rewards get for travel. Basically, what happens here is that you are earning a decent 2 miles per dollar spent, and redemptions are flexible. So this is kind of cool. And what we love about this Capital One, let's say, Venture Rewards is that you're not bound to one airline or hotel brand. So you are basically free to shop around the best, like you can shop around for the best deal and redeem miles for a statement credit against travel purchases like airfare. You have hotel stays, you have rail lines, car rentals, limousine services, bus lines, cruise lines, taxi cabs. Okay, you have travel agency services and timeshare. So you have a diversity of redemption conduits here. There is also an introductory sign-up bonus and a credit of up to $100 for a global entry or a TSA pre-check application fee. So this is kind of cool in terms of flexibility. Now the card requires fair to good credit to qualify, and it has a $95 annual fee. So just so you know. Next, I want to talk to you about the Apple Card. So Apple Card is a TransUnion credit card that has a soft pull, high credit limit. So we love that a lot. Now, it's one of those things where Apple Card is kind of cool in terms of instant gratification. And the card actually pulls a TransUnion primarily. And so if it is your priority to have the latest Apple gadget and you are an avid Apple Pay user, you can get great value from the Apple Card. So we love that a lot. And the cool thing about this card is that it earns 3% cash back on qualifying Apple Pay purchases made at Apple and at a handful of other select merchants. The thing about Apple or the Apple Card is that it really sort of it has this veneer of exclusivity. Okay, and so this is what it is. Now, all other purchases with the card via Apple Pay, they earn 2% cash back. So again, everything is happening through Apple Pay here, and you earn only 1% back when you use the physical card. So you can see that the Apple is trying to incentivize you to use the card more electronically than actually use the physical card. Okay, and the Apple Card also offers instant gratification, but both when it comes to the approval process and the receiving the rewards. So basically what happens here is that you can use the card instantly upon approval and redeem rewards more or less immediately after earning them. No waiting period required. So this is kind of cool. And what we love about the card also is that a pre-qualification process allows you to see your terms, including your credit limits and your APR, before accepting the offer and officially applying. So this is kind of cool. And this card has no annual fee. Now, we have heard some cases where the card was actually pulling Experian or Equifax, but generally this is a card that actually just pulls a TransUnion to actually see if you qualify. I mean, or at least pre-qualify you. And so now they might actually check other credit accounts depending on the geography, depending upon your situation. Basically, if your TransUnion credit account is not really as is not as detailed as Apple will want things to be, they might actually pull other credit accounts just to see that you really qualify. Bottom line is they want to qualify you. That's all. They just want to qualify you. The final TransUnion credit card, the soft pull high limits that I want to share with you today is actually the Venmo credit card. So the Venmo credit card is kind of cool. Why? It's cool in terms of personalized rewards. Okay, the card earns 3% cash back in your top spending category for the month. So you actually have a constellation of options. So you can choose up to you can choose from 8 options, and you see which one it really applies for the month for you. So you have a 3% cash back in your top spending category and 2% back in the next top spending category for the month. So we have among the 7 options remaining, okay? And all other purchases earn 1% back. So what we love about the Venmo is that you have flexibility. So categories eligible for the elevated cashback rate include groceries, you have bills and utilities, you have health and beauty, you have gas, you have entertainment, you have dining and nightlife, you have transportation and travel. So this is kind of cool in terms of giving you the opportunity to actually earn rewards a lot faster, okay? And the card actually is designed to work with Venmo, offering a QR code that others can scan with their phones to split purchases when you foot the bill, okay? And you may also use the card before it basically arrives in the mail, because there is a virtual version is available for you or available to you in the Venmo app that can be added to eligible digital wallets. But this is kind of cool. So this card is kind of similar to the Avant card or the Upgrade Cash Rewards credit card. So this is really cool. And the card has no annual fee. We love that a lot because you are able to pre-qualify a lot faster and actually also use the card. You can accumulate cashback rewards and not pay not even a cent, not even a penny when it comes to annual fee. So this is kind of cool. So long story short, this is a great card for, and the cool thing is they actually they accept all kinds of credits: bad credit, fair credit, good credit, or even excellent credit. They will actually accept you. Obviously, they will adapt the limits based on your credit history, among other things. For your attention, I really appreciate it. Let me quickly just do a recap here. So I was just talking to you about TransUnion credit cards, soft pull, high limits, and so I give you the overview and then the review. So now the recap. So the review here: you have Pedal 2 cashback, no fees Visa credit card, Upgrade Cash Rewards Visa, Mission Lane Visa, Prosper Card, Capital One Quicksilver One Cash Rewards credit card. You have Avant credit card, Blue Cash Everyday card from American Express, Capital One Venture Rewards credit card, Apple Card, and the Venmo credit card. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.